I'm surprised we are joining issues over the capability of Agboola Ahmed Tinubu. When you talk of who should be our preferred candidate, we have to put into consideration so many things. One, if you are talking of youthfulness, then you can be thinking of the likes of Adewale Adebayo. If you are thinking of how vibrant, how articulate, and who can perform, and who has the brain, you can equally look at Adewale Adebayo. But unfortunately, I don't put Obi of the Labour Party into any reckoning at all anyway, because I want to align with a party that has structures, a situation where you are the presidential candidate of a party who cannot boast of a single councillor throughout the 774 local governments across Nigeria. It's so unfortunate. Even with the record of INEC, where they have published the list of agents produced by each of the parties, I think the so-called Labour Party candidate had maybe 41,000.
That's false.
Where we are talking
false.
Of over
close
to 400,000.
That statistics is wrong.
It's been updated. I have not landed. When you talk of antecedents, if you look at Anambra, it's very obvious that Obi cannot boast with Anambra governance during his own tenure.
Of course, it's
so unfortunate that people are being unnecessarily sentimental. We don't have to hide our feelings. This is very clear. In terms of infrastructural development, you give it to Asiwaju. In terms of leading the Nadeco struggle, out of which all of them now are now benefiting, you give it to Asiwaju. What else do you want to say? I stumbled on a Google piece a few days ago, and I saw a youthful Asiwaju, queuing behind Abacha and forcing him to leave office. I saw it. So if we talk of who has the experience, who has what it takes to actually lead Nigeria out, it's Asiwaju. Incidentally, I am not in the APC. I am in the SDP as a party. And the only unfortunate thing is that we are producing a presidential candidate who got the ticket from an extremely awful National Executive Council, and we don't want to produce a presidential candidate who eventually will be challenged, if no matter what he does. You will recollect that a few weeks ago I was in this studio promoting him, but we received directives from an headquarters, and that's why I said later in the day there is going to be an official pronouncement on who SDP will vote for. But for capability, from my own personal point of view, I give it to Agboola Ahmed Tinubu, regardless of whatever people say. It is you can help somebody find a job, but you won't help him do it. He was the one that sold Buhari to us here. Buhari was shedding tears when he said, "Enough of all this sobbing. I will help you out." And Asiwaju helped him out with all the structures he had across the nation. And Buhari he is now spending, rounding up his 8-year tenure. And the right thing for him would have been to say, okay, let's give it to them in the south. I happen to be the convener of SPAG, Southern Presidential Advocacy Group, before all these candidates surfaced. I was leading that group, saying that the next president should come from the south. That time we were even considering somebody from the east, until we now discover that east has now finally come up with a very awful and extremely pitiable candidate in Obi. I don't know. I don't want to start opening the Pandora box now. If I am opportune to do that, even nobody will stay in this studio to be representing Obi.
Before we go ahead,